The year is 2006. I'm in my Catholic school classroom. My parents are hard at work at their job doing the thankless task of selling subprime mortgages to underprivileged families. And boy, let me tell you, there was no better sound to hear than the wheels of the cart as you slowly realize that the teacher is rolling in the TV for movie time. Yes, your teacher just found out that she's pregnant for the third time, and she kind of already gave up on her job a while ago. So that means you get to spend the period watching Christian children's content. Now, if it was a good day, you got to watch VeggieTales. And if it was a bad day, you got to watch a whole bunch of stuff like Gerbert, Bug Time Adventures. There was Salty the Psalm Book. No, Josh, don't go to Salty. No, don't go to Salty, Josh. You can't trust me. We're never gonna see any of these kids again. They're gone forever because they're going with Salty's, taking them to the woods. Among these funky characters that populated Christian children's television, none was so brave, so burly, so bootlegged as Bible Man. Now, I never had the honor of watching Bible Man as a kid, but when I mentioned the idea of this video to my friends who did, the response was mixed. Some did remember it with fondness. Others remembered it in the same vein as this IMDb review titled, Stupid. Oh, I remember this. It's so stupid. Always hated it. Very boring. Bad acting. Which is a great post, and technically a haiku. So, I sat down to watch one episode from each of these 6 reboots of Bible Man to answer the question, is Bible Man actually good? The Bible Man Show. As I sat down to watch the Bible Man Show, the first thing that occurred to me is that, hey, this is gonna be a fun show. I mean, look at this kid playing the saxophone. Look at that, isn't that awesome? Come on, this is a fun show. But little did I realize what horrors would await me.
There's no getting around.
There's no getting around.
I'm scared.
I'm scared. We open on these kids being all glum about how bad the musical that they've been working on is. They sit around and complain for a while, and then their adult friend, Miles, enters like this.
That was great.
Kid, show some respect. The man almost just died right in front of you. Miles tries to encourage them about their play, and as he's leaving, he does this.
Guess I'll see you after the show, okay? All right, bye-bye.
I hate it when that happens.
Ah, yes, the familiar feeling of when you turn to leave the group of small children that you regularly hang out with and walk into the door frame. Yes, me and all the other people at the support group I regularly go to, we have all experienced this. Miles thinks about the pickle that they're in with the musical for a beat and then prays on it. And it's revealed... Wait, he was Bible Man the whole time? What? I didn't know. When we see the kids practicing again, Bible Man comes in, and this time they open up to him about their struggles. Bible Man tells them not to worry, and then in a flashback, he describes a time when he was in trouble. I guess on one of his famous Bible Man escapades. A time he was in trouble where he prayed. And then we cut to the present moment, and he just says that everything worked out. And then they cut back to a clip of the bad guy locked up. It's not even like he prayed and then he got into a fight with him. No, he just prayed and then something occurred that made things good. They never even say who Bible Man is. There's no description of his origin story or any of his powers. As far as we know, he's just an adult man with child friends who knows the Bible. Which I pick up that this is an evangelical show, but I was raised Catholic and I just want to say, Bible Man, you can start to get into trouble with this stuff, man. You might get spotlighted. I mean, after that, there's 15 minutes of songs that have no real attachment to the story that we just saw, other than the fact that they are about God. And then Bible Man says his piece for a little bit to all the kids.
Thank you.
Cool.
Oh, there is one scene where Miles comes back at the end. There is that.
I can't wait to hear more about it.
Miles, wait!
This guy is hysterical.
Yeah, Miles, you're stupid. You'll never be as cool as Bible Man. Yeah, you're an adult man with child friends, but you don't even know the Bible like that. You don't even know the Bible like that. The main issue, or really thing you notice about the Bible Man show, is that there isn't a story. It just, stuff just happens. For example, this song is 50s themed. But it's just a song about how the Bible is good. There is no reason that it is 50s themed. There's no moment where they go, oh, the Bible is cool, like Fonzie. And it's well designed, and the song is fun, it's fun. The kids seem to be having fun. But as a film school graduate, I disapprove. This is how I'm applying my degree to say I don't like this. Overall, while the Bible Man show is really more of a series of cheesy music videos than it is a show, there are still moments of fun and charm. And I mean, I really mean this, the worst is yet to come. Bible Man show, 3 out of 10 VeggieTale. The Bible Man Adventure. As you boot up the Bible Man Adventure, you'll quickly realize that this is a much grittier, more adult take on Bible Man. Sort of the Christopher Nolan's Batman of the Bible Man universe. And we get the origin story this time. Here it is.
Alone, his spirit beaten, Miles Peterson gave up. Then, in his darkest hour, the words of a single book began to change his life.
Bible.
And at last, Miles Peterson felt the burning desire.
That's where I left my Bible. I buried it in the woods. I forgot about it. This is probably the weirdest superhero origin story of all time. Other people are aliens. They're bitten by spiders. Bible Man just finds a King James under some wet hay. We open on a church community play and we cross-cut to shots in the basement of a brick wall leaking sin juice. No spoilers, but they never clarify what this is. It's just gooey liquid sin. That sounds not good. This guy, our main villain, the Shadow of Doubt, breaks through the wall, and then this happens, which is almost kind of funny.
Excuse me, Mr. Shadow. You don't really need this because it's just a video prop, and those bricks aren't real. So you don't have to break through. You could probably just walk around.
The jokes are obviously disjointed and they almost land, but not quite. But I don't know, like there is funny here. The characters keep making fourth wall breaking jokes, that's fun. And this guy is obviously copying Jim Carrey's Riddler, but honestly, he's pretty good at it. In this episode, Miles is a scientist now, and he has a Jesus computer, which detects that this kid, Kyla, has been having doubts about her faith. Which, as repressive as my time in Christianity was, no one ever monitored my brainwaves, and then if I had doubts, sent a man in yellow spandex to talk to me about it. Which, who knows, maybe that was what was wrong with my church. Maybe if they did that, I'd still be Christian. Kyla tells Bible Man that her parents have been fighting, so she went to hide in the basement, and she found this box, which we know was planted by the Shadow. Bible Man reassures her that God does in fact care for her, and she leaves. Bible Man then finds the Shadow in the basement and starts fighting him with his pea-colored lightsaber while quoting the Bible the whole time.
2 Timothy 2:19 says that God's truth stands firm like a great rock, and nothing can shake it.
Which is a little absurd. It would be pretty weird if in the middle of a lightsaber fight, Luke Skywalker was just like, Darth Vader, you gotta knock it off. Ephesians 4:12, that stuff's real bad, man. You can't do that stuff. Luke, I am your father. And Exodus 20:12 says you must honor thy father and thy mother. Bible Man loses the fight, gets infected with doubt, waffles about it in his lab for a while, and Kyla loses even more faith herself. When Bible Man approaches her again, he tries to convince her to pray to God to get her parents back together, but he lacks conviction, so it results in this surprisingly real feeling moment.
God does care. I mean, he must. The Bible says that...
Aren't even sure.
And that's really serious stuff for a kid's show. So we cut from this heartfelt moment of weakness and introspection to and I'm not making this up, 3-minute long dance number by the Shadow. 3-minute long dance scene by the Shadow where he busts move after move, put on screen for no reason other than we all want to watch. Back at the lab, Bible Man tries to find the source of his doubt with his partner, Cypher, and then we have this fun moment.
That's the answer. Coates, what's the one common factor between Kyla and me?
You're both short.
Besides that.
And that is just a good joke. I will fight you. And then get this, he realizes that the issue is that he and Kyla have been trusting their feelings. And so he finds a verse in the Bible that says, nah, that's the bad thing. Do something else. That's not a good thing. Matthew 13:12. So Bible Man goes and tells Kyla that facts don't care about her feelings. He defeats the Shadow. The day is saved. And this guy does a Michael Jackson dance for no reason other than we all want to watch it. I will say that the Bible Man adventure is a stark improvement from the Bible Man show, which is not saying all that much, but still. Not only was there an actual story, decent production design, funny moments, but there was at least an attempt to engage with the struggles that Christian children might actually have and use the Bible as a means to address them. Look, I'm not a Christian, so obviously when the characters are at their lowest and then they just go, oh, but then I found a verse that said this, and then that is what reality is without question. Like, that's obviously going to creep me out. Plus, it is pretty lazy storytelling. Usually when a character is at their lowest point, they return to some kind of lesson they learned from an experience that they had in the movie that you saw. Like, for example, when Spider-Man is trapped under the rubble, he remembers a piece of advice he got from Tony Stark, and it gives him the strength and courage to escape the rubble and marry Zendaya. But the writers of Bible Man just sort of outsourced that critical moment to reading a verse from the Bible, which, surprise, surprise, makes the ending feel cheap and preachy in comparison to other children's shows. Yes, I have a film degree. Yes, I'm overanalyzing Bible Man. And no, I do not have a stable source of income. That all being said, the Bible Man adventure is fun at points, and I'm not going to deny that I would probably enjoy it as a kid, or at least it would be effective propaganda on me. So, 6 out of 10 Christian vegetables. Bible Man Jr. Why are you whispering? You whisper every time I do that. Sorry. I'm going to breeze by Bible Man Jr. because me and any other Bible Man purists in the audience will be upset by the fact that Bible Man Jr. is barely even Bible Man, I'm sorry to say. Bible Man Jr. is a Sesame Street style variety show for small kids featuring song sketches and puppetry. The character Bible Man isn't in any of the sketches or puppetry things. He just shows up in brief interstitials to quote Bible verses, which there's no way that children so young that they don't know what a circle is will understand these esoteric ass verses. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. What do you think, little Timmy? Skippy toy, skippy gup 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 gup, skippy toy, skippy gup 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 gup, skippy toy. Okay, I mean, Bible Man does show up one other time in this interstitial shot between sketches, which, granted, that is rad as hell. But it ain't enough to satisfy this Bible fan. Really, the show is barely even Christian. Like, okay, there are a few Bible quizzes, but the rest are just general children's education shoehorned in with like irrelevant references to God. Your kid would learn more if they just watched Sesame Street and you read the Bible to them. The only thing that passes Christian values along to children in any way that would be palatable is this song where the dog puppet sings about loving your neighbor.
Howdy neighbor, a big hello to you. Be sure to give a holler if there's something I can do.
Yeah. And this song is really nice and wholesome until you learn that this puppet was arrested in 2008 at a pro-life riot. Yeah. This Bible Man stuff gets serious. Bible Man Jr., 1 out of 10. The next iteration of Bible Man is the longest and hardest to suffer through of any piece of Bible Man content, so please brace yourselves for the 50-minute The Bible Man Adventure Live. Thank you. You're welcome. Throughout the early 2000s, the creators of Bibleman decided to take their massively successful property on the road for a series of Bibleman live shows. For the first time, you could experience the existential dread of a grown man in spandex monitoring your thoughts in person. Yeah! The show opens with this creature, our villain, the wacky protester, telling us about the virtual reality world that he's created where there is no God or church. The crowd boos, and then he sends out a goon to fight a Bibleman puppet to this sick beat. What is this? Is that farts? Is the music farts? Oh. At this point, we are introduced to our cast of main characters: Eunice, the talking computer, Bibleman, Bible Girl, and Cypher. And I know what you guys are thinking. One black character? I hope they make him rap and then cut to shots of black kids in the audience. Well, some dreams do come true.
Hello, my brothers and sisters. This is Cypher back at the Bible Cave, representing Jesus Christ.
And I'm letting you guys know right now, believe it or not, that's not the most racist thing to happen in a Bibleman movie. Stay tuned to the end. The gang is excited because they've installed a new AI into Eunice, which can quote Bible verses. Yay! Finally, AI can replace the final frontier of jobs, priesthood. Yippee! Yippee! Kids, always go to church and remember to tithe to your silicon god, the great deity of iron that we created for you. Obey. The gang hears a story about missing kids who are last seen doubting God's existence, and they leave to investigate. I know it might seem like I could be skipping over a lot for what is a 50-minute movie, but truthfully, only about 20% of what happens on screen is plot. The rest of it is just them standing around quoting Bible verses to each other. And the dialogue is written so unnaturally that it makes George Lucas look like Quentin Tarantino. And a lot of you don't have film degrees, you don't understand just how witty of a line. That was a witty line. The secondary villain, named Rapscallion P. Sinister, sneaks into the base to try and sabotage Eunice's new program. He raps for about 3 minutes, but his plan is thwarted by the computer, and he escapes. The gang comes back, they wonder who snuck into their base, they test out their new bondage machine, and then they sing about Jesus for about 4 minutes. Rapscallion comes back, they chit-chat about theology, fight with Nerf swords, and then they flee. And then we cut to a scene, which is my favorite scene in the Bibleman franchise. In this scene, the wacky protester traps the kids in his virtual reality world of sin. And I just want to play this scene in its entirety for you, for no other reason than I want you to see it.
I'm your maitre d'. You have a nice bon voyage.
Tom is here. Roadside. What was in that brown? I don't think there's anything I could contribute to this scene comedically. I think it's perfect that I don't want to touch it. The one thing is I don't understand, how are any of these sins? We need to create a representation of an enticing virtual reality world made only of sin. Basically hell personified. Okay, I downloaded a bunch of stock photos of caterpillars and clowns and put it on a fractal. Is that good? Is that good? Are you kidding me? That's fucking great. I'm not gonna lie to you, after the excitement of that scene, I did lose a little interest in Bible Boy Live. The rest of it, Rapscallion sneaks in, sabotages Eunice's Bible program, yada yada. They prey on it. The kids are saved from the VR world. Off screen, Rapscallion comes back. They fight. They pray some more. Daily Motion shows 3 unskippable 30-second ads every 3 minutes, and I cry fully clothed in my bathtub that has yellow stains in it because it's never been cleaned. 0 VeggieTales. Bibleman Power Source. The other guys in the bathroom. While the Bibleman Adventure Live may have been the longest and hardest to watch Bibleman episode, Bibleman Power Source is by far the most absurd. You are not prepared for what you're about to see. The episode opens with Bibleman driving a race car for no reason other than he's training. and that the producers probably wanted an excuse to drive a race car. A villain shows up by the name of Super Pro Game Master 2. His whole character is like, he's like a gamer. He's a gamer villain. Ah, Bible man, you've defeated all my gamer moves so far, but for my next attack, I'm gonna say a slur. The whole vibe of this episode feels so much more like bootleg than any other Bible Man iteration. It feels like a student film production from like a high school. The location they're filming is ugly. They're clearly using a consumer grade camera with no lighting setups. There's cheesy iMovie style editing transitions. It feels like a kid picked up a camera to make his own Bible Man movie, except they're adults. And I'm an adult. And you're probably an adult. And I'm watching it, and you're watching me watch it, and guess what? We all have degrees. Isn't that great? Okay, the next thing I'm gonna show you is the thing in this video that I was the least prepared for. Here is the opening shot of the episode's main villain and his goons. That's blackface. That's crazy on the nose blackface. Okay, devil's advocate, it seems like they're not even supposed to represent black people. They're just like nondescript grunts that could be dressed however. So why paint them black? Why, and why make them carry him around? Why'd you do that? Why? And I know there's gonna be someone in the comments who's gonna go, well, Eric, this was made a long time ago, so should we really cancel something for not obeying the cultural sensitivities of the modern moment? This was made in 2008. Okay? This is not Huckleberry Finn. Obama was president. Look at his face. You can tell he sort of knows he's doing blackface. I don't know. I don't even know how I can carry on. I feel like I should apologize. I am from Canada. I did vote for Justin Trudeau, but I didn't know. I did not know. So this episode is about laziness, and unhoused Santa here, his name is the Slacker, and his goal is to make everybody lazy just like him. We cut to a scene of a couple boys working out, as we often do, and the acting is just cheesy enough that if you add just a little music, it sounds exactly like the intro to an 80s corn movie.
Right. Yes! You take it. Okay. Thanks for pushing me on that last one. Whew, you know, I always wish I had a coach.
I know what you mean. It's hard. Sometimes we just have to push ourselves.
This kid named Drew comes in and explains that he can't make the Bible study because he'd rather hang out and watch TV like a real lazy donkey. But he does tell them that he would like to try out for the musical.
Heard him sing. He'd be a great coach.
Wow, thanks. Something I always wanted to do.
And the Oscar goes to
the kid who plays Drew. However, in the next scene, the Slacker uses his magical, lazy powers to convince Drew not to care about his dream of doing the musical and just be a real lazy bones about that too. Here he is going to the Bible study. Look at that. Look at how lazy he is. He's so lazy, he forgot how doors work and can't even put his hand up. In fact, the Slacker then uses his magic to make everybody at the Bible study lie around like it's 1 a.m. after a party, and they made the mistake of smoking before picking the movie. Bible Man confronts the Slacker outside, but then he comes down with the case of the lazies and the Slacker flees. Back at the lab, everyone is lying around, but then Eunice reminds Bible Man that the Bible actually says not to be lazy. That's the opposite of a thing you're supposed to do. So then he prays for a bit, and everyone is suddenly no longer lazy. Yay! Remember, kids, God is a big vending machine in the sky. Order him around, ask him to do stuff for you, and he'll always do it. Yep, that's how my theology works, that's how the world works, and no one has ever experienced praying and then not getting what they prayed for. Yay! 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 This is a good thing to teach kids. The team goes to Drew's big audition. The Slacker is there, but the gang chases him away. Drew's performance goes well, and then they lock this disgruntled, unhoused man in a box and send him to a life of eternal suffering and torment in hell. I guess some stories do have a happy ending. The acting is horrible, the production is bootleg, and it suffers from the original sin of the Bible Man series, that reading a passage from the Bible magically completes a story arc. There is no amount of Y2K nostalgia that will make me pretend that Bible Man Power Source is a good TV show. And that's because I actually think it's a great TV show. Yay! I love lazy storytelling, pun intended. Yeah. However, I was disappointed by the fact that none of the actors in blackface did little dances or were elected Canada's Prime Minister. For this reason, the highest possible score I can give Bible Man Power Source is 3 out of 10. Do better. Bible Man, the animated adventures. Adventures. See, now I did your echoes. That's kind of funny, isn't it? It is funny. It's super funny. Now, for 5 or so years, the Bible Man series languished after Bible Man Power Source ended its 6-episode run in 2010. That is, until it was purchased by the Tennessee-based Christian company Lifeway Christian Resources and rebooted into an animated show in 2016, which, and I hate to say this, is like borderline okay. Luckily, the episodes are pretty short, as is my tolerance for Bible Man at this point. So, in this episode, Bible Man presents Becky a big math trophy. We cut to the villain of the week this episode, the Prince of Pride, which I feel like might be a thinly veiled reference to a certain group of people. I might totally be reading into things on this, but you know.
And I, as the exalted Prince of Pride, know all about loving the spotlight.
The Prince of Pride gets upset at his goon for continually missing his stage cues, but then they get dressed up in their costumes and leave their house in West Hollywood to try and hit Becky with their brand new ego boost rave. Becky goes to class and brags about being the smartest. Bible Man tells her a parable from the Bible about humility, and surprise, surprise, it magically saves her from her prideful ways. They find the Prince of Pride outside, and then they make him and his goon blast off like Team Rocket. Now, the voice acting is fine. The writing is better than it was. The animation is in this liminal space where it's almost pretty good and almost really bad. Of course, it has the same issues as every Bible Man episode. The episode is just sort of an uninteresting morality play with a lesson from the Bible crammed in to try and teach kids these things. But to be honest, that kind of makes it better than 90% of kids' content these days, excluding Bluey and a few other shows. So I don't know, 7 out of 10, Larry the Cucumbers, whatever. Now, in conclusion, is Bible Man actually good? Now. Here's a better question. Am I being a little overcritical of Bible Man because I'm not a Christian, I'm an ex-Christian, and I'm allowing my negative, resentful thoughts to obscure my analysis of this beloved work? No. There are a lot of good Christian pieces of art that I can point to and go, this is great, I would like to one day make something as great as this. There are books and movies I've loved based on Christian themes. I like the Bible, I think it's a good book at points. Greatest story ever told? Okay, whoever said that clearly never saw Austin Powers, but it is pretty good sometimes, except for all the, the really bad stuff. Now, obviously, sitting down to make this video, I never expected Bible Man to be Michelangelo's David, but I thought it could have been VeggieTales, and was it? No. At its best, it was almost good, and at its worst, it was really bad. So those are my thoughts on Bible Man. What are your thoughts, Mr. Jinky Jump?
Oh, I love Bible Man.
Cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, he was there the whole time. You guys just didn't see him.
I was just here, man, the whole time.
Yeah. So I'll see you guys.